Labas. My name is Sofia. I am 32 years old. I am originally from Portugal, from the city of Lisbon, and I have moved to Lithuania a year and a half ago. A family to me is home. I think family means a space where you could be, that you are understood, that you are supported, loved, and there is a place for celebration and joy as well. And for me, my family is my girlfriend, and also the living things we take care of, like the plants in our balcony, our families, our sisters, and we hope to add a cat and a dog and a kid soon. I have told my family, and they have accepted it with respect. It was not always easy, especially with my father being slightly more conservative. We came a long way with understanding each other. I think love was above all else, and then the willingness to understand what we both didn't know and overcome these fears of actually talking matters that are complicated. Right now it's great. It has improved a lot. My father often asks me about my girlfriend. We have met several times. I think he is definitely feeling more comfortable, and we both learned a lot during this journey as a family. My sister has been supporting me a lot as well. And what I tend to say when in terms of living openly, because I have that perhaps privilege to live openly and say that I am a bisexual woman, it gave me more interesting opportunities and relationships than perhaps if I was living, hiding this truth about myself, this big truth. So I agree that it is important to be out, particularly because besides we can change a society politically, but we can more than ever change each other by talking, by learning, by educating ourselves, educating our friends, our families, our co-workers, and that only comes by having the courage to speak up and tell them who you are. One of the main things that Lithuania could learn with Portugal is that Portugal has passed the same-sex marriage law in 2010, being the 8th country in the world to do so. And in 2016 they passed as well the law for same-sex couples to adopt children. And some people ask me, how so that Portugal is a very Catholic country and these laws came into place, and that social acceptance has increased a lot in the last decade. Social acceptance for LGBT matters. I would say that in that it's a common past with Lithuania. Portugal was part of a dictatorship, and as well as Spain. So both of these countries influence each other politically. And what happened is that once they came out of a dictatorship, which was a lot of repression, a lot of harassment, particular to minorities, they wanted to come out and to do better, to represent the values of democracy and modernity. And this was one of the laws that they understood it was going to benefit the society. And what happened, actually, they say that, then in the end comes the apocalypse. The apocalypse didn't come. Basically, society's thriving, and even in a study in 2019, Portugal had almost 80% of acceptance in terms of having equal rights for homosexuals and heterosexuals. I believe that Portugal and Lithuania do have a common past where there was that they both want to put behind, and they both want to live openly with freedom of expression, with human rights and a great quality of life. One thing that I can say is that in Portugal, after passing these laws and after improving the lives of the LGBT families, nothing really dramatic happened to the rest of the society. Basically, it still is a Catholic country. It still is a country where religion and LGBT communities can coexist, and they do, and they celebrate each other. So I agree that for Lithuania to follow the way is just a matter of talk to someone who know that is openly LGBT and ask them the questions, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable about that, and only with that kind of dialogue we can bring society forward.